Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Between Monsters and Men. Today we will be searching for the Nixie. There are many versions of this incredible water spirit across Europe, but since these are in different regions, their versions of this creature is varied as well. So to keep from the confusion and any accidental mix-up, I am solely focusing on the Neck or Nixie of Germanic mythology. They go by a couple names: Nyx for the male counterpart, Nixie for the female mermaid counterpart, but they are sometimes also called Neck. Variations of the word translate to water elf, and the roots are more described as imaginary being supposed to live in water, a water demon, kelpie, or river horse. Since the Nyx origins first appears in oral folklore, it is hard to determine the exact origin. We can pinpoint a time period as early as 1180 to 1210, due to the Nyx being in connection with the Danube from the German epic Nibelungenlied. The males can assume many different shapes, including humans, fish, and snakes. The females bear the tail of a fish, much like a mermaid. When in their human forms, they can be recognized by the wet hem of their clothes. They are active during Midsummer's Night, Christmas Eve, and on Thursdays. Female Nixies are like mermaids who entice humans into the water, but unlike mermaids, they are seldom good-looking, having a wizened appearance with green hair and skin. Males are most known to take on the appearance of a brook horse. Their fur color is white or apple gray, and they are far more beautiful than the average horses. However, they still have their telltale signs. Their manes are full of river weeds, and they are constantly dripping with water. They are portrayed as both malicious or harmless, depending on the stories. Nixies lure men to drown, much like their mermaid counterpart, and males also lure victims, particularly pregnant women and unbaptized children. But his luring is very talented. He attracts them with his songs he plays on his violin, often looking like a young man dressed elegantly, and as they are attracted, they become hypnotized. The Scandinavian Nake were also male spirits who played enchanted songs with their violin. When males are in their horse form, victims are often enchanted from their beauty, wanting to ride from this celestial beast. They get on its back and it leaps into the water, ultimately drowning its victim, much like the kelpie of Scottish mythology. So what came first? Many wonder. Nyx, the male counterpart, are known for shapeshifting, making it difficult for storytellers to get a true grip on what this creature can look like. Other than being able to turn into animals, humans, floating chests, and etc., they are very musically talented. They can lure and hypnotize their victims, or even be so kind to, as to teach a lucky student their skills. Being a water spirit, they obviously can't survive without being near a water source, and apparently, speaking their real name can kill them. Other methods include dropping silver or iron into their watery home. When in horse form, they are prone to trickery, usually being lured by a beautiful maiden that leads them into a plower's field where they are captured and used to plow with a harness made of silver or iron. After Catholicism came to Western Europe, these sort of creatures were said to be warded off by holy water or by making the sign of the cross. There are a few stories that mention Nixies or similar Nixes. One famous Nixie derives from the 19th century literature Lorelei. According to the legend, she sat on the rock at Rhine, which bears her name. There she would lure fishermen and boatmen to the dangers of the reefs with the sound of her voice. While in Switzerland, there is a legend of a sea maid, or possible Nixie, that lived in Lake Zug. The legend of Herr Helvine, who was a dangerous lord, was said to lure women to their deaths with a magical song. People speculate that this legend originates from the Nixie legend as well, especially due to him being said to drown as many women as he had hung. In Scandinavia, there is a water lily called Nyx roses. They are named from the tale of the poor fisherman who had a beautiful daughter. Nearby, there was a small lake with little fish in it. It was here where the poor fisherman had difficulties providing for his little family. One day, the fisherman was fishing, and out of the blue, a Nokken appears, the Scandinavian version of a Nyx, and offers the fisherman great catches of fish in condition that the fisherman gives him his daughter the day she turns 18. The fisherman agreed. The day of the girl's 18th birthday, she went down to the shore to meet the Nokken. The Nokken asked her to walk down to his watery home, but instead, the girl took a knife and said to him, he'll never have her alive. She stabbed herself in the heart and fell into the lake, dead. Her blood colored the water lilies red. The modern Scandinavian names are derived from an Old Norse nirk, which means river horse. This means it is likely the brook horse preceded the personification of Nix as the man in the rapids. So what do you believe? Do you believe that there was a possibility of these water spirits roaming Germany and many other European countries? Since I'm no longer monetized, come check out my Patreon page and join the family. I create videos on cryptids, abductions, serious killers, and more. If you can't support me there, don't worry. Just like, comment, and subscribe here. I would also like to thank my supporting Patreon thus far.